Yeah, g'day folks, you are back again with the big fella. So folks, if you clicked on this video, then it's very likely that you're already a frog hotelier and you're interested in some finer points of maintenance. So this is what this video is about. It takes a fair few cues from other videos that I've made, so there'd be a lot of B-roll. So guys, this video will be focusing on some of the finer points of maintenance, including doing a partial water flush, draining and disassembly of the frog hotels. So this video is going to be addressing the frog hotels with pots as well as planters. Pots with the smaller rocks, and the planters with the larger rocks. So it covers everything you can make a frog hotel out of. So it'll also include how to clean the pipes. Okay guys, enough yap, let's get some work done. So to drain the water from these hotels, what you'll need to do is use a siphon tube, and you'll need to immerse the tube into the water and suck through the tube until it gets to about 3/4 of the way up, and then drop the tube, allowing gravity to take over. The water will then continue siphoning until you remove the tube or it runs out of fluid. One thing I did think of here is using a jiggle siphon or a shaker siphon, and since you're going to be potentially removing semi-solids through this tube, one of these isn't recommended. However, I would recommend a tube of at least 16mm diameter, or about 5/8 of an inch, and about 2 meters long. So that's now moving. So what we're going to do is use the hose while it's sucking out the water. We're going to just do a bit of a scrub on the rocks, and you might be able to see that algae there. That is string algae, and we're trying to get rid of it as much as we can. At some parts you'll see it fly out. There we go. Wow. There's quite a bit there. So we're removing water and algae at the same time by using a siphon method. Now it's not 100% guaranteed, it's not foolproof, but it kind of does the job in a temporary type of situation like this. So that's taken the water down by a couple of inches. We're still siphoning it out. So this is your partial flush. Okay, so now we're getting to the bottom of this little pile down here. There's all the rocks being taken out. There's quite a few. Now those pipes have got very little actually keeping them upright. So what I'm going to do is siphon the rest of the water out. Looking a little bit murky down there, but that's only to be expected because you're right down with the sediment. So now I've removed all the pipes from our old planter, and here's the last 3 of our friends. There we go. So first up, what we're going to do is see if we can clean these up without removing the paint. It might be a bit of a tall order, but we'll see how we go. So it seems that it's cleaned up fairly well, especially when you use just a hose and a bottle brush just to kind of agitate the stuff on the outside, which is fairly loose. Hasn't done all that much to the paint, but what you see right now, that's pretty much been done by the rocks, as it's been kind of moving around inside the planters most of the summer. So I'm kind of happy to leave it as it is. Alright, so just a quick elaboration on these pipes and how to clean them out properly. What you want to do is, say this is a dirty pipe, right? It's clean now, but say it's dirty, it's been in the hotel. So what you want to do is take a pipe cleaning brush, a bottle brush like this. What you want to do is just kind of insert, push through, etc. Okay, just give it a twist, give it a clean, no problem. Just use water, no detergents, no additives, nothing like that. Frogs don't like them. So this is a 50mm pipe, so it'll work on 40mm, work on 32mm. Might have a bit of trouble with a 65mm pipe, but you'll just have to kind of run it around the inside a little bit. Use this and a pressure washer, a Karcher, a gurney, whatever you use, and yeah, that's pretty much all you need. It should be good after that. And so here it is. We've got drawn up just about everything we need to out of the water. There's your substrate with the soil, as I predicted, going through the sand. So it's actually just being pulled through the sand. I'm not sure how it works. So now what we're going to do is just put those cornerstones back in, put the pipes in, and away we go. You can see quite clearly in some places it's actually quite dark in here with the excess algae, especially over there, that particular stone. If I move that right now, that's string algae on it. So we're going to clean that up a little bit. The algae's only at the surface. Underneath, you can see that water, no stones under there. They're virtually crystal clear. It's only the stuff that is exposed to the sun and some prolonged periods of rain that actually has all the algae attaching to it. So there you go, it's just surface level stuff. So I've taken the pot out of the bucket and I filled it up with a little bit of fresh water. What we're going to do first is to dig out around the rocks, around the pipes. Now, it's a bit of a fiddly job, but you don't want to do the alternative, which is just to go for the easy way and snatch the pipes out of the rocks. Because down there, somewhere, you've still got tenants inside there, right? So what you want to do, because most of them will actually sit down right at the bottom of the pipes, okay? You don't want to just pull them right out and they're kind of clamoring on for the pipe as it's being pulled out. Some of them will actually get, well, inadvertently jammed in between the rocks, and you don't want that to happen because you could kill them. That's one precautionary note. And so what we have here is the necessary stuff for cleaning out the hotels, which is basically a sieve or a strainer of some sort to put the rocks into and get them cleaned out with a pressure washer. We've got a pipe cleaner, we've got a scoop, and importantly we've got the big red bucket to put all the clean rocks into. So the only pipe you can really safely remove at this point is the light, which you're pretty much guaranteed is not going to have any frogs in there. So we've taken out the top layer of rocks, and you can see all the mold around the outside. That's what happens when you leave them for the winter, because they're busy hibernating. And down here, all the moldy rocks are just about to get a blast with maybe a jet setting on the hose, or if it turns out to be a little bit too hard, maybe I'll throw the Karcher onto it. Most of the rocks have been cleaned out, but we've also taken the pipes out, and all the frogs have been removed from the pipes. So we've got a little bit of cleaning up to do here, but our residents are now here, and they'll be put back in once we finish. So here we are, we've got these pipes scrubbed and rinsed as much as I can. A lot of the stuff that came out there, I was running in that red bucket there, so ugh. So we used a pipe cleaner, a very stiff bristled scrubbing brush, and that's pretty much all we really need because the pipes actually weren't that bad. And yes, the residents have been redeposited into their rooms. Don't know if you can see them in there, but they are there. They don't like being moved. It's like moving a fish when you're trying to clean an aquarium. It's probably just as bad. Yeah, g'day folks, Big Fella here. This is just a basic maintenance guide on how to tear down and clean out your frog hotels. Now, as you've seen, it's done in two very different phases because not all frog hotels are created equally. Now, as you'll have noticed, these frog hotels are created for tree frogs only. Now, first and foremost with these frog hotels is the welfare of the frogs that are in them. So what you'll want to do is either have wet hands or preferably wear gloves when handling the frogs, so to move them either in or out of the frog hotel for cleaning. Now, the reason why this is because the skin on frogs is hygroscopic, which means it draws in moisture. Now, that can also include the oils on our skin, which frog skin doesn't always agree with. I've tried to make the guide fairly simple and easy to follow, so just take your time and follow the steps and make sure when you put it back together that it's the same as when you took it apart. Now, cleaning one of these shouldn't take you more than about an hour or so, and the cleaning intervals should be determined by the condition of the frog hotel. So if you find it getting dirty early on, then you may have to up the routine a little bit more often. Now, I clean mine out probably maybe once every couple of months or maybe once a season, but it also depends on the type of weather that we get. So we get warm to hot days during the warm months, and we can get quite a bit of rain in between. Either one of those will actually promote algae growth quite a bit more. So for the prevention of algae buildup on warmer days in particular, you can always use a sunshade, which I've made for mine, and you can always do partial water flushes in between cleans. So it really promotes the health of the frog hotels a little bit more. For further maintenance in between cleans, you can always use some algicide, which is going to be frog friendly. So that'll help with the condition of the water. Alright folks, I think that'll about do it. Okay, so if you like this content, give me a like, subscribe, comment, share, all that stuff really helps out. So yeah, until next time guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. This has been the Big Fella. Have a good one guys, catch you later.